We're back, people. How are we doing? On the back of that mighty Blues win. Cheers to Shonnock, JP, and Alan for the beer money in the last one. We do have another trivia question, but I'll wait for that for just a second. It's a maybe one for our South African brothers and sisters if they are in the house to answer. How are we looking for this game? Who have we got? JP's a Reds man, obviously going the Reds. Novmum's got Reds by 13, Alad by 5, JP by 12. Aluran is the only one thus far picking the men from the Coffee City. The Rebels by 2. Roger is watching on holiday. Are you on holiday, man? And also got the Reds by a comfortable 8 points. Did you cry when the Leinster game was cancelled? Thankfully, Owen, I made a wise decision and not getting out of bed at 5:30. I was really tired and I thought, bugger it, I'll sleep and I'll watch the game on demand. So I got up and looked and sure enough, cancelled. Hooligan, whoa, get that off, get the Reds on. Maybe for the review, man. In all likelihood. Wallabies rule Reds by 9. I got the by -5. Sorry, I didn't see the minus means more than 5. And if it's dead on, you don't get your money. Right. Wish the Force were playing this weekend. Force next weekend. I've never seen this McDonald's ad before and it's actually pretty funny. Nice. Okay, that's actually a pretty funny ad. Glad you're wearing this jersey because I've been a bit of a jinx. Yeah, I jinxed the Crusaders. I think I jinxed the Blues, but not just now. Love the Munster flag, Tom. Good man. Even though if it's run the wrong way at the moment, but yeah, means that the logo is looking at us. Red should this one, but if this weekend's anything to go by, says James, indeed, man. Who knows? Guten Tag, James. Guten Abend, I think, from this part of the world. Will Munster win today? Tough ask, but after that Claremont game earlier in the year, who knows? Boring weekend so far. The Crusaders game was garbage. The Crusaders were pretty stop-start, it is true. Don't know many Australian players, but all of them, play for the Reds. Fair enough. There's a bug on the Munster flag. Well, I ain't looking. Could be the biggest bug we've ever seen. It could be a Men in Black style bug. I ain't looking. Up the Reds, says Harry. And Roger's back in the Ospreys to win today. Who are Ospreys playing? Is that a Challenge Cup game? Two postgrad in the Hulk. Novmum, yes, both the kids are asleep. Thankfully. My son was still awake after the last game, but he's since fallen asleep. Playing Newcastle. That should be a good game. Hello from Serbia, says Wolfsburg. But didn't we just have someone from Serbia on the last stream? That's bizarre. We don't usually get many Serbians on, mate, but welcome along. Big upset. We'll give this to the Rebels, says Raymond. Good luck with that, man. We'll see how they go. Right. Trivia question. It's South African related, so I don't see Rian, but maybe some of you guys know your South African sports people. It says, who carried the South African flag at the opening ceremony of the 2012 Olympic Games? It was you, but you've changed name. Good. I thought it was a bit random to have two Serbians. Seems we've never really had any Serbians along. Paul's ready for Munster-Toulouse. My wife literally just asked me before the stream. She said, is there any rugby on tomorrow? And I said, I'm getting up to watch a game in the morning. She said, what time? And I said, it's on at 2 a.m. So basically, as soon as I get up, I'm watching it. JP's got it. Caster Semenya. Wow. Was that Google or was that you? That was pretty quick. I'm impressed. Pretty quick. Caster Semenya, a bit of a controversial one, but yeah. Lutu, man, how's it going? You're going to have to give your Lions team, Raymond. It's coming, man. It's coming. I'll work on it next week. Lance also got it. Caster Semenya. Oscar Pistorius. Nah, it wasn't him. He was the first one I thought before I saw the answer as well. First try for the Reds. Let's say Pattaya. Do you stay up or do you go to sleep for a few hours? Depending on the game, man. I usually sort of try to go to bed though and then wake up. I'm better at waking up than I am staying up because I got kids. Why are the Melbourne Rebels called the Rebel? Melbourne was not the Victoria Rebels. Queensland, ACT, Western. Yeah, you're right. They're the anomaly. Why are they a city team instead of a state? That's bizarre. I don't actually know. Google. Got him away not to know much about South Africa. Too many heartbreaks watching the ABs lose. Fair call. Fair call. There's something to be said about a quick fire hand at Googling. Rian, game 2. Yes, man, let's go. Amy Parrott is the ref today. Hopefully it's a good game. There's a good spot for a Blues flag right behind me. You mean on the curtains? On the door? Behind the TV? That might be a good idea. Game's underway, by the way. The clock's in the bottom left, which is behind my laptop, which is unfortunate. Maybe I can move the laptop. Oh, where's the score? It's 0-0, man. It just started. We've just kicked off 10 seconds ago. Or 26 seconds ago. Good places and bugs as well. No bugs here, man. No bugs here. Right. What colour do we go with? We could leave it as blue. Or do we change it to a more Rebels blue? Do I have a dark blue? I don't. I'm not going to set one up. Let's just go with blue. Just hit our first female ref in the NFL. Is that right, Shonik, mate? Yeah, the Pro 14, I've seen quite a few female refs. We don't see it much in Super Rugby. Lamani has been taken into touch just outside his own goal line. Rebels are privately owned, which could be why they're city-based. True. Is that the TV I usually watch on? Yes, and you can see why I usually have to sit about a metre away from it. The computer screen I've got here is about the same size, to be fair, so yeah, I'm sitting in the old work desk spot, work from home setup. Owen. So, yeah. Made sure there was no garbage on the floor for a change. Got the kids to pick up their toys. Right, Reds with a 5 metre line out. This is usually trouble. They're mauling. It's not going anywhere. Now it is. Nah. There's no Murphy, so there's not going to be a try, surely. Oh, BPA. It's close. Advantage. Try time. That didn't take long, folks. It did not take long. Tupa. What minute is it? 2 minutes and 32. 2 minutes. That was quick. Rodri, how's COVID going in Auckland? No COVID at the moment, thankfully. Any COVID cases are in managed isolation, so they're locked up in quarantine, thankfully. Ellen hasn't kicked off yet. Bloody hell, we've already had a try, man. The TV is going, Owen, but I didn't want to move any furniture to set it up today. I usually watch on, that's a PlayStation 4. It's several years old, and then connect it to the TV to watch on the app, and then I sit with like a little desk here for the laptop and a desk here for the camera and the microphone, and then I have to move this unit forward so I can actually see the TV. It's a bit of a mission, so I took the lazy way out. The only drawback here is that I'm not connected to the router, which is there, so I'm on Wi-Fi, which is not advised for live streaming apparently, but oh well. YOLO, right? By the way, they got the conversion, so it's 7-0. I'm going to edit that. Not a great start for the Rebels, you would have to say. 8 seconds in front of Stan. That's unbelievable. How am I in front? I'm in a different country. Okay, I'll give you guys a timestamp in a second. 4:30. Boom. Oh goodness me. Paisami with the intercept. They're not going to catch him. Holy smokes. Unbelievable. Who threw that pass? Hodge? Yeah. Man. What minute is it? Crazy. This game's going to be a hiding, says JP. You might be right. Do they advise you to do it? They advise you, Rodri, to connect the old Ethernet cable directly to your laptop. So you're not risking any interference with your Wi-Fi. But man, what can I say? I'm living dangerously. Risk taker, rule breaker. How lucky am I to have picked the Rebels, says Alaran. Indeed, man. Viliami Bulla, man. How are you going? Alarm bells, indeed. See what happened when the board stick with the coach. Remember when the Reds were struggling a few years ago, says James. Indeed, man. The Reds were rubbish for a couple of years. And I can remember certainly doing plenty of videos where I kind of tentatively said, I'm not trying to say I'm a smart ass, but like, I'm not trying to say I'm showing off like a smart ass, but I was like, you can't judge it on the first year, can't really even judge it on the second year. You got to judge it on like the third year and beyond, because that's when you've had a chance to get rid of the players you don't want and to, you know, instruct carefully the guys you do bring in, and you've got to convert them to the way you want to play. It doesn't happen overnight. So he is a testament to that. But that being said, every coach is different. Some guys can come in and make an immediate impact. You never know. Ross Cooper Reed, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, man. Happy Easter and happy birthday. You get to have Easter eggs at your birthday. Aren't you lucky? Munster or Toulouse? It's been played in France, right? So probably Toulouse, but man, with Munster, you never know. I'll back him. You're watching the Titans and the Raiders. You're a league and a rugby man from Serbia. That can't be very common. Thoughts on the Blues performance? Pretty good. Nothing flash. They did enough, eh? Do you have Cadbury chocolate in New Zealand? And are the crisps Lays or Walkers? I don't mean to blow your mind, Rodri, but we have neither Lays nor Walkers. We do have Cadbury chocolate. We used to make it here, but we shut down the factory about 2 years ago, so now all our chocolate comes from Australia. No, I no longer buy Cadbury chocolate. I can't do it. I got to buy Whittaker's, which is a local brand. It's at Thornton Park, then maybe Munster. Not many teams go through Munster at Thornton Park. Shonik says the stand stream just flaked out. Really? Anybody else having issues on stand? Everywhere has Lays or Walkers. Not New Zealand. China had Lays. I will admit, China had Lays. I lived in China. We had Lays. Not in New Zealand. Since if someone clicked on the stream, they'd think you're Irish Kiwi due to the flags in the background. But mate, I've got a Rebels jersey on, so that would throw them off, surely. Whittaker's peanut butter is nice, indeed. My husband buys Whittaker's peanut block, indeed. If you guys have never had your Whittaker's, get yourself some Whittaker's, man. It's pretty good chocolate. Oh man, here comes Carlotto. The Reds are running rampant. Shifted to ESPN fans. If anyone else runs into issues, streaming the game on YouTube. Ah, nice. Patrick said he was using that earlier. Ben Stan's playing up as well, but JP's is all good. Bit of a mix. Throwing the ball on a touch, but we go back for a penalty. Flags are permanent, jerseys are temporary. Fair enough, Owen. Ruru better be starting every game for the Blues from now on. He really stepped up his game, says GK. What about Christie? He wasn't at his best last week, but he'd been away for so long. Bought some Lindt hazelnut spread. No idea what it is, but it was like 99 cents for 200 grams. Normally about 10, 15 bucks. So you got 4 jars. Bloody hell. Rodri, interestingly, you bring up the Lindt balls because my wife has been lucky enough to carpool with one of her co-workers since we moved house, who also lives out this direction. And my wife gave her some Lindt balls, and she saw that particular co-worker giving them out to everybody else. And she asked, what's the deal? I bought you the chocolate. Why are you giving it to everyone else? And she's like, I don't like Lindt balls. Who doesn't like Lindt balls? Come on. Kiwi accent, Aussie, that's questionable. The Aussie team jersey, Irish flags, 2 cents the international man of mystery. Indeed. Believe it or not, that's a Blues like try thing that you hold up, and that is a really old school Blues like finger, you know, the one where you go like our team, yay, and it's got the original Blues logo on it. Yeah. The Reds have just kicked the penalty. And it's 17-0, people. 17-0. Bloody hell, man. This is a bit of a mountain for the Rebels to climb, isn't it? Welsh accent, Welsh name, currently wearing a Bristol jersey and hat, trader. Hashtag trader. Currently in the UK, in England though, right? Only commies don't enjoy a good lint, exactly. Does anyone know when the Six Nations Women Comp is on? It's supposed to be on this weekend, or I think it starts tomorrow. I may have to watch some of those games as well. Change that score to bug color to red. No. No bugs. You do live in England. There you go. Women's Six Nations starts tomorrow morning. Not sure what time they're on, but it'll be early. Yeah, there's one game on that's at a terrible time. I think it's England-Scotland, and then France-Wales is on at a more appealing time. Genuinely the roach on the Munster flag. I know. There's always genuinely one on the Munster flag. I'm genuinely not going to look, ever. One day you guys are going to be like, there's a guy with a knife standing behind you. He's just broken in through your house. And I'm going to be like, nah, I'm not looking. You've done that to me now. You played that card too many times. There is rugby on as I talk about nonsense. The Reds still have the ball. Just about halfway. Bloody hell. Joe Powell just flattened Salakai Loto, which does not happen often. That's a sizable difference in mass. Exeter v Leinster next weekend, probably. If it's on, I'll be watching. That's a rematch. Not a rematch? No. Well, Saracens to knock them out, but two recent champions, so why not, man? Definitely. France-Wales is on at 9 p.m. over there. Yeah, that's a good time, Jamie. That's usually... Oh, but daylight savings, it might be on a different time. Our clocks are changing back an hour. It'll either be like 8 or 9. Ella's on 12 minutes. Bro, I'm on 14:41. And the last stream when young 3 cents wasn't in the room. The door did creak open. Wasn't sure if it was Mrs. 2 cents or her ghost. Yeah, she opened the door for him, I think. Being careful not to get on the stream. Nah, you got to lift the ball up, folks. You can't just drag the ball back these days. Effing something, he says. Just came from the Canes Blues game. Thoughts? I'm a Canes fan feeling a bit miffed by Savier's binning. Tomo, first time I watched it. Oh, bro, here goes Tate McDermott. Oh, he's doing it in his head pass. Tomo, first time I saw it, and I heard the ref on the mic say it's because Savia pulled it down. I was like, oh yeah, fair enough, he pulled it down. He should get carded. And then I saw it again, and it was like, oh, Savia didn't pull that down. The Blues just took it to ground. Yeah, I don't think it was a great call, eh? And that's me trying to go full Blues bias. Must be past midnight for me. Oh man, Tupo, are you kidding me? It's 10 p.m. on the 3rd of April. Tupo has just scored the 3rd try of the game. That's his 2nd. Bloody hell, and it's not a props try either. It's like a midfielder's try. Look at him. James O'Connor, and then Tupo just on that support line. Boom fire. Man, crazy. Oh, this is going to be brutal, says Shonik. This, I think, shows us the final is probably going to be the Reds against the Brumbies. And happy Easter, by the way, Sebastian. I forgot to say that. Happy Easter, man. Does everywhere else eat chocolate at Easter? Is that just like a Commonwealth thing? I've got no idea what the chocolate represents. I just know there's chocolate. Change the colour from blue to red, I know, right? Tupo fan club, rise up. Better toss off that kit. This is a stinker, I know, right? Of course we do. USA does. There must be parts of the world that don't eat chocolate at Easter that are still like Christian, current countries with Christian backgrounds though, right? Western culture thing. You've bought less eggs for your kids this year, fair enough. Ireland do, says James. That dive can get him kicked out of the front row club, I know, right? That's a proper dive. Still at his best, Chris Ashton impressing, but couldn't quite get as much airtime. Jonathan, what I think of the Blues win? It was like serviceable, without being real spectacular. I think I said at the end of the last stream, I don't think the Crusaders will be shaking in their boots at that one, but they lost their last game, so man, you never know. Pataya has just knocked the ball on. So the Rebels will at least have a bit of ball in the Rebels half. No, Reds half. Sorry. What platform am I watching on? It is the Sky Go website, which is New Zealand's streaming sports service. It's our equivalent of KO. Just turned up and surprising the scoreline. Yes, big V8 show. It's rather one-sided. Blues play the Highlanders in a couple of weeks. I'll have to have a look. I haven't even looked at next week's fixtures, and I can't remember what it was like last. Even though it's a repeat of the round 2 fixtures, I can't even remember. Oh, the Rebels passing is just not quite there. New advantage. Was that playing Gamosa? No. Gaza on for the next Blues game. Oh, I need to get the TV, man. I'm working on it. I am working on it. You excited for the South American competition? I am hoping next week to get myself watching a fair bit of extra rugby, to be fair. Including the MLR, and if I can get the South American stuff, I'll have a look as well. Women's Six Nations, I should have a look. I should have plenty of time on my hands. Marika, is he going to get his first try of the season? No. Powell. Wells. Tupou's turned it over, but we will go back for an advantage. Are you betting on the Rebels plus 50, or are you thinking the Reds are going to win it by 50? Alan, mate. Blues don't have a game next week. Crusaders will play Hurricanes and Chiefs Highlanders. You think? Okay. Hopefully the Blues can come back from the bye fresh and firing. Custom of Easter egg traced back to early Christians of Mesopotamia, spread into Asia. That's the painting of the eggs though, Lance? It's not like the chocolate eggs. That has to be a marketing gimmick at some point, surely. Because the egg symbolizes the rebirth, right? Like, I get that part, but where'd the chocolate part come from? I know this is a can I Google that for you question, but... Oh, the Reds have turned it over. It's McRae. Do you think Checker to return to the Waratahs? He has been linked with them, but what's he got to gain from it? He's been there and done that. He's already like a millionaire from his business empire. And he's got a pretty sweet gig punditing. I don't know what he's got to gain from it. I mean, maybe he just loves it. Maybe. Possible. Going to put $50 on the Swans today in the AFL. They're paying $4.50. Talk myself out of it as you hate any Sydney team and then they won easily, missed out on over $200. Yeah. I was tempted to put some money on the Crusaders for a try scoring bet, but I'm pretty glad I didn't. I thought they were going to run tries in for fun against the Highlanders, but I opted to not bet. He loves the Tars but that'd be a step back, says Shonik. Checker is coaching the Lebanese league team for the League World Cup. How much is he getting paid to do that, though? Surely there'd be more money coaching the Tars, or more prestige. Do you know Michael Checker speaks like 4 languages, including Arabic? I did not. I'm sure he speaks French. Sam Kane out. Who would be the number 7? Who would be the skipper? I think the favourite answers would be Savia at 7 and Sam Whitelock at skipper, but they may pull something a bit more complicated than that. They could keep Savia at 8 for when Kane returns, so they don't have to kind of shift Artie from spot to spot. Good turnover from Kemeny. The Rebels have a chance to counter-attack, but they've just passed the ball to Paisami again. Man, the Rebels are looking shocking. Is there a feed for this game free over in New Zealand? Free rugby in New Zealand. Doesn't usually happen. Someone might know. I'm certainly paying for this one. Streaming Munster game later. Daniel, I wish, man, but it's on at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I am going to not stream it, but I will watch it in the morning. I've already booked the time in with the missus. Parsons as a pundit. He's pretty good, Rodri. Yep, better than he probably was as a player. Checker probably has free reign to do whatever he wants with the Lebanese league team. I'm sure he does. And he seems like the kind of guy who likes to have it his own way. Oh, man, it's a bit of a comedy of errors from the Rebels, man. Come on. What's going on? Free if you have a Sky Go code from your sister. That's one way of putting it. Akira, Savia, and Satutu. Possible. Maybe Frizzell at 6, but yeah, possible. I think Satutu is the natural choice at 8 for the moment. Not that he's been in his greatest form either. Not sure about Satutu at 8, says Shonik. Yeah, I was just kind of thinking the same thing. His form's not been phenomenal. But Papali'i's been really good at 7, so maybe keep Savi at 8 and put Papali'i at 7. Jonathan's on his 6th pint of rugby. 6 pint of rugby? Did I just say that? God, how much have I been drinking? 6 pint of Guinness. I saw Rob's comment about too much rugby. You need to do lessons for the rest of us and how you get your missus to accept watching it. I know, right? I know. Basically, when I'm not watching rugby, I'm playing with the kids. Or cooking breakfasts, you know. Doing housework. So, yeah, I pay my dues. I don't play video games. I don't watch movies. I basically just watch rugby. What can I say? I do play the odd video game, it's a lie, but just not much at all. So Tutu at 8 would be good. Needs caps before the Rugby World Cup. Yeah, he's just not been in great form. Checker hates being a pundit. Tipping is for mugs. That's probably because he doesn't want to be called out for being wrong, eh? But that being said, I never put my predictions in my videos. If you want to know my predictions, you need to watch my Super Brew. If you didn't see my Super Brew for Six Nations, I won. I was the top dog, but for everything else, I'm doing horrendous. So, yeah. Simon, man, how's it going? Long time no see. 4 years with the missus and I still haven't got her to watch a single rugby game. Not even when you won the World Cup. My missus doesn't watch rugby either, man. She watches the haka and that's it. Ulysses, he's close for the Rebels. Cummins is short. Powell gets it out. Slow. Tamua as try time to Lomani. Nice. The Rebels finally get on the board. What minute is that? 29. Gilmore thinks a lot of work, missed a lot of rugby this season. I can imagine, man. How's the situation over there at the moment? Still pretty under control, eh, in China. Took my wife to Ellis Park for the first time last year, then the pandemic started. Oh, Rian, so close. My missus has been to Eden Park a few times. It makes doing all the house cleaning, etc. so much better in the morning, listening to your commentary in the background. Much appreciated. No worries, man. I listen to all kinds of nonsense when I'm cleaning the house or doing the dishes, so I understand how you feel. I need to have something to listen to. These days when I'm driving, I don't even put the radio on. I just listen to something on my phone, eh? Have to. You need something. Maybe it's the sign of the times that there's that constant need for like engagement, eh? Can't have a moment in my own head. I need to be listening to something, but yeah. I don't mean to go off on a tangent. I appreciate that. Seven points for the Rebels as they have just converted that try. Remember, Lamani's playing winger this week, but he is a halfback by trade. How awesome was Tuangafasi's 100 and 100-month cap? Oh, yeah, the haka from the boys at Mangata College. Yeah, absolutely. Phenomenal. Love to go to South Africa versus AB's game, says Novgon. For sure. Pretty chill vaccine rollout going well. The big three cities have started opening up to foreigners allowed to travel if vaccinated by only certain countries. I'm sure not New Zealand. Not yet. Our vaccine rollout is still very slow, but you can kind of understand that seeing as we don't have much COVID. Who you betting on when it comes to the Reds Brumbies? Cabbage Patch, mate, at this rate, Reds all day long. The Reds are looking about as good as I've seen them play under Brad Thorne. Going to a game at Pretoria Stadium, Loftus, yeah, would be awesome for sure. Loftus, Ellis Park, Newlands used to be, unfortunately not anymore. Some plenty of famous grounds in South Africa. What's your favourite at the ground live rugby experience? Well, anytime you get to see the All Blacks do the haka is pretty good. But games at the ground in Hamilton, FMG Stadium, formerly Rugby Park, you're so close to the game, man. It's unbelievable. And seeing the All Blacks there is even better, but they don't play there that much. But yeah, very, very, you're so close. If you get front row, I think when I was there, I was in the second row. And yeah, it's just almost like being on the field. It's like being at a club game. Rian saw the British and Irish Lions at 2009 at Loftus, best live match ever. Yeah, I saw the Lions play the Blues at Eden Park. That was pretty good. But it wasn't, I didn't get tickets to see them play the All Blacks. I missed out on the lottery. See, Ben Smith was saying Super Rugby needs a South African team. So Billy Roo was saying South African teams would be better off in Super Rugby. Yeah, the players may want it, but it's not about them anymore, eh? Players and fans, nobody cares. They need that money. Yeah. You almost get hit by a ball at the yeah, it's one thing you do have to be aware of when you're watching in Hamilton is the ball can, if they kick it into touch, they can hit you with it. Yeah. That being said, it's worse if you're watching cricket and you get hit by the ball. I've seen that happen, but never to me, fortunately. Hodge, go Hodgie, go Hodgie. You can make it. Yeah, try time. Try time. 35 minutes. That's got to be a try. They're going to check it, but he reached out and scored. I reckon he scored it. On-field try. Check momentum and grounding. Yeah, pretty standard call. What's happening with Super Rugby next year? I think this year it's AU, Aotearoa, and then Trans-Tasman. Boomfa, try time, all day. And then don't want to end up like Phil Hughes. Is he a darts player? What was I going on about? Yeah, then they're going to look at the Moana Pacifica and Fijian team alongside the New Zealand and Aussie teams for the year after. Come on, man. Why are we still looking at this? I saw it once and I thought there's a try. Come on, man. They finally gave it. Rebels woke up from their snooze, indeed. Oh, Phil Hughes is the guy who got hit and died. True. True. Yeah, that's right. Oh man, I forgot about that. He got hit in some really mental angle, like on the throat or something, eh? Oh yeah, man, that's terrible. Was it the throat or the head? Maybe it was the head. Was it the one that hit him like between the visor and the grill? I don't remember. But I remember it was, yeah, pretty bad. Hamilton Park, FMG Stadium. I don't know if it's the last one, but it's definitely called FMG Stadium now. It's the sponsor's name. It used to be called Rugby Park. Because essentially it's a rugby ground. It's a rectangle. It was in the neck. Yeah, I thought it was in the neck as well. And that's why they're wearing those helmets with like the extra bit around here. Right? They never used to have protection like here. I don't know. I don't watch much cricket anymore. What I think about last night's game between the Crusaders and the Landers is, man, the Crusaders were a bit less clinical than we're used to seeing, and the Highlanders were pretty fired up. Ref has gotten a bit of stick, but yeah, it's all right. Pretty happy with it for the comp, to be fair. Looks like he dropped the ball as he placed it. Nah. He banged it down, I reckon. Oh man, Scott Young's knocked it on. Phil Taylor's the darts guy. If you get a season pass at FMG, you get a sticker which says seat is reserved for. Well, that's pretty sweet. Eden Park certainly doesn't do that. Funny thing about Eden Park is they only check your ticket at the door, and then you can pretty much sit wherever you want, apart from places that have got food, like free food, like if it's a corporate box or something. Like those areas, you have a secondary check to get in, but there's not really any point in buying fancy tickets. Even season ticket areas, you can still just walk in, as long as it's not a place that has food. You can sit wherever you like. Nobody cares. There's always so many seats. Just moved over to Perth from Melbourne, going to my first game in 2 years, Forcefield Reds on the 23rd, so stoked. It's normal over here. But you're on day 7 of 14 of quarantine. Is there internal quarantine in Australia still? Damn. But yeah, it's pretty normal over here as well, bro. So it's, apart from scanning QR codes and stuff and cleaning your hands all the time, which is probably something we should be doing anyway. Tamua, not the best kick, but take it, Higgity. Jock O'Connor, that is, not Jock Campbell. Playing a bit of force back at the moment. It's about 5 kicks in a row. Who's going to break first? Lamani's going to kick it. Oh. O'Connor. That'll be 6 kicks in a row, 7 kicks in a row. What happens if it's a sellout? Then you got to sit in your allocated seat. But how often does that happen? Not for Super Rugby. For the All Blacks, you definitely can't just sit wherever you want. But for the Blues, apart from corporate boxes, you sit wherever you want. Just buy general admission and just sit wherever you want. As an Aussie, I hate Eden Park. I can imagine. It's not been a happy hunting ground for many. Oh, yeah, we're in Queensland. Oops, I've just dropped my book. Depends on the state over here in Australia with the quarantine things, depending on how the COVID things are going. Fair enough. We have had regional lockdowns over here as well. But we don't have the states thing, so it's a bit different. What am I looking at? I'm looking up stats for this one. Whatever happened with that Queensland case, though? Did they clear it? Was everything all good? Yeah, I know they had that 3-day lockdown. Was that all that it was? Right, possession. Oh, maybe I'll wait one more minute. The website's usually a tick behind. James O'Connor, Wallabies 10 this year? Probably. I would say so, yeah, man. Yeah, 14 days quarantine doesn't sound like fun to me either. Thorne's not going to be happy with those last 10 minutes. Probably putting it pretty mildly. They started with such a hiss and a roar, eh? And then they kind of let them back into it. Just thoughts on the previous stream to do with YouTube versus podcasts. It's much better to have a face to the voice. YouTube for sure, says Lance. I agree. I don't really listen to podcasts, but I certainly watch a lot of stuff on YouTube. And I actually find myself listening to stuff on YouTube as well. Like, I don't always have to be watching it. Sometimes I'll just play it without watching it. I'll just listen to it. So, yeah, don't know. How close were the Waratahs to causing another set yesterday, James? Pretty bloody close, man. Queensland seems to have steadied real fast. Just have a 2-week mandatory mask wearing. Ends on the 15th. Cluster is at 14. When will Leinster play Toulon? They won't, apparently. The game's already been awarded to Leinster. So they will progress. What's Kastlik wearing? I can't see Kastlik. I've got an ad for Still Shop, the power tools place. Leinster are going straight through, yeah, pretty much. So far, I would say McCrate or Tupou for man of the match. Tupou, with that try dive celebration thing, he deserves a bloody red card, man. What's he doing? You can upload to YouTube for free, whereas I think you have to pay to upload to others. No way. Do you have to pay to upload to podcasts? Like maybe iTunes or something, right? Ehio West is balling at La Rochelle. Man, he was average for the Blues, eh? I don't know what, they must have just coached something into him that wasn't there before, because he was honestly Mr. Inconsistent. I did not appreciate him that much at the Blues, honestly. He wasn't very good. Bristol against Bordeaux should be a good game. I haven't seen the lineups yet though, but it should be good. Munster, any chance today? For some reason I thought they were playing in France, which I thought slim chance, but someone mentioned earlier it's at Thomond Park, so hell yeah, why not? Right, match stats, possession 46-54 to the Reds. Territory 47-53 to the Reds. Run meters 131 to 190 to the Reds. I want to see tackle percentage. Pretty similar. 85%, 84%. Brad Thorne will not be happy with those numbers. Clean breaks is 2-4 in favour of the Reds. Offloads 4-0 in favour of the Rebels. Interesting split. Scarlets versus Sale is the game of the weekend for you, Flesh, and I think Allard would agree with you. Maybe he also will think the Bristol game, though. Only Ihar West moment I remember was him scoring the winning try for the Blues against the British and Irish Lions. Yeah, fair call, Mr. April. Ihai West has always had loads of acceleration. Like, he never had heaps of top end speed, but he had real quick acceleration. His goal kicking was always as inconsistent as you can get, and his distribution was like average. So he wasn't like a real huge player for us, but he certainly played pretty well for La Rochelle. See what checks and morgues are talking about. O'Gara's interviews today, says James, was very interesting. I'd like to see him at Munster sooner rather than later. Oh, I've definitely listened to him a lot, man, especially when he was at the Crusaders. Always really, and I see him on Off the Ball a lot, actually. I always quite am interested. People say he's boring, but I don't think he has to like do a song and dance when he's talking. It's more about the content that he's speaking to that's interesting, eh? Morgs has been great on stand. Yeah, he's really good as a pundit. Harlequins v Ulster should be a banger. Roger's a legend. That interview yesterday was so insightful. That's a coach you'd run through a wall for. West was such a meh player. His acceleration might have been the best in the comp, but now that crown belongs to Husson. Yeah, his acceleration was basically the main thing I loved about him, but not much else. But he did play well this morning. There's some beef between Turanui and Vessels, though. Really? What for? What happened? Drama. Insight he gives and his answers are great. Yeah. Checker looks to have lost some weight. The stress of not having to coach at the international level anymore, I would say. Turanui has been calling for Vessels to go. Why? The Arnold brothers in the second row, just scary. You could say the opposition line out. The Arnold brothers are coming for you. Yeah, the Rebels haven't really hit their full potential on the Vessels, but they've been okay. Consistently okay, but nothing more, eh? There was a few seasons in Super Rugby regular before pandemic where they would start the season really well and then just fall off a cliff and then not make the playoffs. They still never made the playoffs. And the Toulouse back line, yeah. Just a quick reference back to chocolate eggs. John Cadbury made the first French eating chocolate in 1842, but it was not until 1875 that the first Cadbury Easter eggs were made. There you go. Nice. That's quite a history of chocolate eggs at Easter. It's just funny because like when I lived in China, they certainly adopted Christmas like hardcore as a shopping holiday. Like nobody really gives a rat's about the original, like the Christian elements to that holiday, but it's a big shopping deal. But Easter is not on the radar at all. It's not like they try to make it a chocolate eating day. It's not. Yeah, it's not on the radar whatsoever. We were talking about Easter eggs earlier, if anyone's confused. Same in Japan. Yeah, I'll bet. Why does everything have to be French, eh, Sean? Like French fries, French eggs. Like you just put French in front of it and people are like, ooh, fancy. What's the biggest religion in China? I think traditionally it's Buddhism. Like I went to a few Buddhist temples there, and you'll certainly see people praying and giving money and stuff. But nah, in everyday life, it's not a big thing. Not from my experience of the country. It's not a real big thing. Skelton looks a different player at La Rochelle. He went to full 80. He looked pretty good when he was in England as well, didn't he? Compared to his time in Australia, he really slimmed down. Atheism, Chairman Mao, and Buddhism. There you go. It's pretty much a mix of those three. Chairman Mao is not popular that much anymore. To be fair, they kind of look back on those years and go, not so great. But yeah, Buddhism traditionally and atheism, yeah, for the most part. The Buddhist stuff's more like a tradition than an active religion, I would say. Confucianism, yeah, again, that's... is that religion or philosophy? I don't know. The filial piety, that thing certainly lives on. Alright folks, one more beer. I'll be back. State is the religion? Buddhism and atheism and Confucianism are the religions of China. Yeah. I'm not even sure Confucianism is really a religion though, because it doesn't have like a deity or anything. I don't think it talks about an afterlife or anything like that. It's more just like the way you should live. Anyway, as we get sidetracked, one more bit of trivia, says JP, and you are right. Let's see what this says. How many of you guys follow your horse racing? It says, what horse won the 2008 Melbourne Cup? What horse won the 2008 Melbourne Cup? I gotta admit, it's a pretty boring name for a horse. It's a really boring name for a horse. 2 cents has a lower body. I know, right? I actually have legs. Nice to see Melbourne. Starting to crawl back. It's true. The horse that came first. Yeah, definitely. That's the horse that won. Maybe Diva. It wasn't Diva. I don't even, if you told me this is, yeah, Viewed. What a boring name for a viewed. Like literally, I viewed a house yesterday. Viewed. Like, aren't horses supposed to have cool names? I don't know. I don't really follow horse racing. Anyway. I don't really follow the horse racing, but I don't know. My uncle used to be pretty good at it, apparently. Made a few bob. Lost a few bob. Hamish, what's the right call for the Six Nations Polo Tournament, Daniel? I voted for him, so yeah, sure. We are 40 minutes and 10 seconds. Second half's underway. 4 million for the win, so who cares about the name? That's one way of putting it, Dank. Yeah. I don't mean to get distracted away from the rugby, but I do want to see list of Melbourne Cup winners. Let's have a look. Winners. Twilight Payment, Vow and Declare, Cross Counter, Rekindling, Almandian, I've heard of that one. Prince of Penzance, Protectionist. Like, these are all cool-ish names, right? Shocking. But really viewed? I don't know. Different strokes for different folks, I guess, right? Someone thinks it's a cool name. I guess Blues is not exactly the most exciting name for a rugby team either, but there you go. Is what it is. Reese Hodge got a big old boot. Who am I rooting for? I don't really mind, man. Be nice to see the Rebels come back a wee bit more, but yeah, we'll see. They'd never run Black Caviar. What? Ice is going to do a Rico montage. Don't do the Chiefs game last week because he missed a few tackles. How's Pataya's boot? Not bad. Not bad. Just found out Pivac and Hansen were cops in Auckland. Yeah, and a few of them have been school teachers. Graham Henry was a school teacher. Wayne Smith was like a PE teacher. Or was that Eddie Jones? Heaps of them have been teachers as well, back from the amateur days. You needed to have a job, so you just became a teacher or a headmaster or something. Has a bird ever been dinged by a kick on this field? Shonik, not in the rugby, I don't think, but in the cricket, yes. In the cricket, at the MCG, which is in the same city. Put Pataya on the bad haircut list. I was actually thinking about that before, Lorano, but I didn't mention it. Yeah, it's not a good look. I want to say Dave Rennie was a school teacher. Was he really? I wouldn't be surprised. Reds won't let this game slip through their fingers, but the Brumbies showed weakness yesterday and it just fuels them. I can't imagine Brad Thorne will let his side go off the pace, but you never know. Always believe the Blues should have been called the Pirates because we had a pirate mascot. The Auckland Pirates. Well, we don't even use the Auckland thing anymore because we represent more than just Auckland. The Pirates. Go the Pirates. That's our year, Pirates. Doesn't have the same ring to it, but could have been. Rebels are lining up a shot at goal early. 44 minutes in. He's pushed it wide. Easy kick, that one. Buccaneers. Which team has the coolest sounding name? Of the original Super Rugby teams, or at least the prior to pandemic Super Rugby teams? I think when you combine it with the logo, I always like the Lions one, to be honest. Oh no, they've just thrown an intercept past the Jock Campbell and he's going to leave Wells for dead. Surely Wells has caught him. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But there's got to be a try here. McCrae over. Far out. Whoa. A minute later, the Reds score a try right after the Rebels miss a penalty. Surely he'll kick this. Not good. Cheetahs have a cool logo. And the name is almost a meme. Yeah. So how was getting up at 5:30 for the Leinster game? Dean, believe it or not, as I went to bed last night, I was uncharacteristically tired. And I said to my missus, like, nah, I'm not going to get up and watch it live. I'll watch it on demand. So I absolutely dodged a bullet by not getting up at 5:30. I got up at 7:30 and enjoyed my sleep. Juarez was a pretty good one. Yeah, that's true. They changed their logo, though. Oh, there's another bad haircut who's just come on. Who's that guy? Surely the Reds are winning this comp, Harry. I would have to agree, man. They are looking exceptionally good right now. Well, I watch Munster James, man. I'm not going to watch it live, 2 o'clock in the morning, but I will watch it first thing, and I'll do a review after it, seeing as I've not reviewed any of the Champions Cup games this time yet. Vunivalu for the Reds and Lamani for the Rebels. Yeah, Vunivalu's injured, mate, but Lamani scored a try before, so yeah, big Fijian influence on the game for sure. $5:30 game between Irish and the Blues was pretty good. Old Juarez logo was much better. I agree, James. Juarez had some of the best shirts, definitely. Because they had Nike doing the shirts. Only them and Saracens are the teams that I know that wear Nike, like of the rugby teams. Like the Pumas, obviously, the Juarez, and Saracens. I think that's it. At least all that I know of. 31-14. Friend of mine plays for the Flames. Thought that sounded badass. Like a hockey player or what? I got a Macron Wales shirt and I take back all I said, way better than Under Armour ones feel-wise. Mate, I've got a few Macron ones now. And honestly, they're really nice, eh? The Macron ones are proper nice. Yeah. France used to have Nike a few years ago. Always had clean kits. Yeah, I don't know why Nike. I guess they just spend more time on football. They don't really want to do rugby. Oh man, Wells looked uncomfortable as in front of that high ball, but he still managed to field it. And Maury, mate, we're into the second half. It's 50 minutes in. Jamie, mate, I think the Hawaras, what's left of them, are in the South American competition at the moment. But it's a very different side from the one that was playing in Super Rugby. Very comfortable A-flesh, and yeah, the Macron ones are really nice. Good fit, comfortable fabric. YOLO, mate, we're at 40. 50 minutes and 40 seconds. Nike do all the NFL kits. Yeah, Big Money Sports is where my friend Mike, the Welshman, bought some off-brand imitation Nike shoes, which were called Mike actually. But yeah, Nike do all the Big Money Sports, I was going to say. Come on, Corabidi. University rugby team in the States called the Flames. They had a maroon torch as their logo. Nice. Don't O'Neills make the Forces jersey? They make the Brumbies jersey, mate. The Brumbies. And yeah, I've got their one from last year. Really nice. Really light fabric. However, in the South American competition, they won't play in a major league rugby, but as long as it around the American version of Champions Cup. Yes, in the long run. Rumor about the Jaguares going to Spain? Yeah. I feel like that was just rumors, but we'll see. Free kick to the Reds. Let's tap it quickly. And then Pattaya just hoofs it out on the full. Man, that was a bad kick. As bad as his haircut. Oh man, the Rebels are throwing some dumb passes. Alarana called them dumbasses earlier. Yeah. Tamua kicks it deep. PMJ James 3K in Ireland. How's it going, man? It's quite a name. Yeah, they are in the South American League, mate, I believe. And I also saw the highlights of some big score, I think. Nike also make the Toulouse kits. Right, John, yeah. They're pretty few and far between, but they do make some. Come on, Rebels. Make the game interesting. Score a try. Get some points. And the Reds have got a turnover. Are the Rebels backline constantly underperforming for all the big nays they have? The Rebels have never gone out and signed all like the best props and locks, which I feel like is maybe the way you should start if you're going to spend all your money on players. I think they're a good example of building your team around the front rowers instead of the backs. Top 15 players of the Six Nations. Agree, except for Bigger. Yeah, I figured Bigger would actually be one of the most controversial choices, eh? And I could go with Sexton for sure, because Sexton had a good comp too. But if I can blow my own trumpet for just a second, I've seen a lot of the, best 15s of some of the pundits, and most of them are pretty terrible. They hardly pick any French guys, like only Dupont. That's it. Like, come on, man, that's nonsense. They must be watching different games from the one I'm watching. Like, it's quite often that I pick a pretty ordinary one, and then I see someone's comment, and I'm like, oh man, I wish I'd picked that team. That team looks a lot better. But, yeah, some of the official or punditry ones for this year's Six Nations have been bloody awful. Old saying about forwards win matches and backs decide by how much, Hachiban? Indeed, man. Indeed. The Rebels never heard that one, apparently. For a second there, I thought the cameraman was doing the trick that the South African camera crews often do to find young women in the stadium, but apparently it was one of the players' fiance. So there you go. Jamie agreed with me on Bigger. Yeah, I think the 10 question in the Six Nations is one where you could look at it multiple different ways and still be kind of right. It is 34 points to 14. It's looking pretty well done, this one, team. She was interviewed at the half. Ah, okay. Not on my one. I was all ads. And then a bit of checker. She's also an Australian international sevens player. Oh, nice. They said Olympian on the commentary, so maybe that's what they meant. They didn't mention which sport. Oh, it's Leota with that bad haircut. My goodness, look at that thing. It's like a dead rodent on his head. Sexton should retire now as he had a good individual performance in the Six Nations. It's always nice to go out on top, eh? This guy, they didn't win though, so that wouldn't be quite right, but Olympic sevens rugby. Yeah, I figured that earlier on. But I don't know why, when they said Olympian, I didn't think sevens. But yeah, then that does make sense. A lot of ordinary haircuts at the Rebels, indeed. Lack of French players in those picks is a joke. Runner-up tournament at hardly any mentions Cabbage Patch. Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't. The only logic I can think of is people pick the team thinking about some of the comments they will get, and they think maybe if they don't pick French players, they're not going to get complaints from the French because the French aren't reading their column or whatever. I don't know. Sonny Bill assumed he'd have a gold medal too. Yeah, it didn't work out that well, eh? This will be a blowout, says Novmum. Looks like it. Pat Lamb ever mentioned to be a potential All Blacks coach? He bombed out with the Blues, man, so probably not. Yeah. I know he's been awesome everywhere else he's gone, but he bombed out with the Blues. Thoughts on Checker being mentioned with the media, the vacant Waratahs job? Yeah, we talked about it a little bit earlier. I don't see what would be in it for Czechs, but yeah. I think it was JP that mentioned he doesn't like being a pundit. So maybe he would. A pundit would be a pretty cruisy gig though. Looking forward to seeing the lineup for the Lions. James, mate, I am both, because I'll do a pick, right, before Gatlin does his. And I am both looking forward to and both dreading that video because they're always a bit toxic, those videos, eh? People get real tribal about picking one player over another. I don't know. Among almost Pacific Islanders playing for Bristol Bears. Yeah, Randra's there. Piatau's there. Another Piatau's there. Luatua's there. Yeah, lots of players. Yeah, James, you know what I'm talking about. I could pick Watson for the Lions based on him being the Six Nations player of the tournament, and people would still say he's a joke. Anyway. Red score in the game's pretty much done. Oh, here we go. Knock on. Looked like Hegarty might have scored, but there must have been a knock on in the build-up. Just hope the Scots get a fair share of the spots. Yeah, man, based on what we've seen, it'd be pretty disappointing if at least the likes of Hogg and Watson and maybe Russell and some of the props like Sutherland and Ferguson, a handful of those guys have got to get in, surely. Still a tradition to choose one uncapped player to tour with the Lions. Haven't seen many on playing the predicted squads apart from Sam Simmons with form. If it was going to be from any country, surely it'd be from England, eh? With Eddie not really diversifying in his picks. He's not giving some of the up-and-comers a chance. Van der Fleer to make an appearance. Yeah, James, but that's about the most competitive position for the Lions with Watson, Curry, Underhill if he's fit, Tipuric, all being absolute genuine contenders. Yellow card warning for the Rebels. Next one's going to go. I swear every AU game you decide not to stream as a belter and the ones I do as a stinker. Go the Costanza method and do the opposite of your instincts. I know. Yeah. This one's it's had a good start. What can I say? Not a new office, man. It's just a new angle on the same digs. Just a new angle. I think Curry, Watson, Tipuric dilemma is the hardest choice. You can only really play 2 of them together with Faletau playing 8. Yeah. When's Underhill back as well? Scrum penalty for the Reds. O'Connor feeds it to Jock Campbell, and that's a try. At least the Rebels don't get a yellow card. Good try. Me and the streams get through the ordinary games. That's actually a benefit, eh? Yeah. I was lying on the floor yesterday watching the first half of the Brumbies and the Tars going, oh, the Tars are getting done again. The second half I was actually legit watching. So Underhill's back in a couple of weeks, but yes, has been back a couple of weeks, but he left yesterday's game injured. Bro, are you serious? Oh no. Thought on Zebra almost dumping Bath out of Europe. Dean, I didn't even see it, man. I've only followed the Champions Cup games this weekend and Super Rugby. Does Hegarty kick this one? Tough kick. He's missed it. Curry, Watson, Faletau with Tipuric and Navidi on the bench. It depends if Gats wants to go with like a 7 playing 6 and Curry, or whether he wants like a big unit of a 6. Like, does he want a CJ Stunder who carries the ball all day long? He knows Navidi pretty well, so Navidi could be worth a shout. Or maybe even Tyke Byrne, actually, for a different, if you want to go for more like a lock style loose forward. Gatland would pick Curry before Navidi. I would not. Okay. That makes more sense. I was nodding and thinking, Oh man, here goes Lamani. Big line break. The Rebels need to score multiple times soon. Here we go. Marika gets it to Michael Wells. He'll grow over for a try. Marika still can't get a try of his own, but he gets a try assist. Brumbies, Mertz, what game are you watching? They needed that. Curry's become a better ball carrier this season, but still not strong as part of his game. Paul, yeah, just a brief look at his stats in the Six Nations is like, he's a dominant tackler. He makes tackles. It's still kind of his thing, eh? compared to his ball carrying, where like Watson smoked everybody. Burn, Watson, and Faletau is the scariest. I think that's probably my preferred one round, mate. I think that's my preferred Lions back three. Back row, not back three. Bloody hell. Gatlin's lower field is over. He'll diversify as he has to. Samoa's kick has gone wide. Probably needed that. Makes it back to 20 points, so still 3 scores. Burn for the extra liner option. And his turnovers, man. His turnover count is immense. As Dean has just pointed out. Can the Rebels do anything in the next 13 minutes? I'm going to say no, but stranger things have happened. Be unlikely that Owen Farrell will make the Lions appearance. You reckon? I don't know. Gats played him at... He played him at 12, right? A couple of times in the last tour, but that's a long time ago. What a pass from Marika. A good kick from Hodge too. Puts the Reds under a bit of pressure. Jock Campbell. Safe clearance, but good play from the Rebels. Maybe they are going to do something. I'm clutching at straws a wee bit. I can't see much going on. But man, Marika. Stunder, Watson, and Faletau for the ball carrying madness. Burn, Tipperick, and Curry for maximum annoyingness. For me, it's Burn and another, probably Watson, who gels together. Depends if Gatlin kind of wants to min-max his side, right? Does he want to go for a balanced back row? Or does he want to go for full-on, one way or the other? Burn, Watson, and Simmons. Simmons would be a pretty brave pick given he's not playing international rugby, but couldn't question his ability. How many minutes we got? We've got less than 10 minutes to go, folks. Hard to see how any Saracens players could be picked for the tour. Toje has enough in the bank to be picked, but the others weren't exactly in form over the Six Nations. Agree. But some would argue the whole form is temporary, class is permanent thing for that one. But yeah, you certainly couldn't pick them on form. Munster or Toulouse for today's game. Oh man, don't make me pick. Ken wants to get it done at home. No crowd, so maybe Toulouse. best outside centre pick is still bod, even at his age. He was pretty good. Which is putting it mildly, by the way. More for the Rebels to go nowhere. They got 7 metres in 8 minutes and 20 points to get back. Here we go. It's messy from the Rebels. There's no halfback there. They get away with it. The Reds have won a turnover. I don't know if McCrate was always on his feet there or supporting his own body weight, but either way, good turnover. Or was it Wilson? I think George is enough in the bank too. His line-out throwing is too valuable. It wasn't that long ago where he was like best hooker in the world, right? Yeah, it was McRae, and I thought that was dodgy, and I think Morgs has just said it was dodgy as well. Never bet against Munster in Europe unless it's a semi-final. True. Messy lineup from the Reds, but they've retained it. Just over 6 minutes. There's a bloody lot of seagulls there, eh? Can't see the Rebels winning it from here, Novmum. Nah, me neither. 3 scores in 5 minutes. Martin, the Irish banner's back. It's run the wrong way at the moment, but yeah, it's there. It's there. Never bet on Munster in a semi. Never bet on Ireland in a World Cup quarter final. True. Actually, a big V8 show. You need to have a look at that one we talked about. I forgot about that video. Ireland and World Cup quarterfinals. How's that one going? Huge one for the Blues, Ben. I know, man. It wasn't the best game. This one's not been the prettiest either. It's had a few good tries. I can't complain about the number of tries, but yeah, that one wasn't the prettiest. Cover that Munster flag with a Leinster one. It would make the room look a lot better. I do have a Leinster flag as well. I got an Ulster one. I got a Connacht one. I got all of them. Man of the match, Tupou? Probably. They don't really do man of the match in Super Rugby. At least not in Australia and New Zealand. What kind of position to put the Reds in now? Oh man, the Reds are looking top dogs, easy. There was a really loud bang in my house. I hope it was just my wife dropping something. Is that going to be a try? Come on. Surely a knock on. Kid falling out of bed? No, I don't think so. It sounded harder than that. On-field try. Cockroaches have come for the TV. Bro, they can have that one. Hodge. Has Fluke got a hand in that? Hodge goes up, gets a hand to it. I think Fluke's got hands on that. You can't give that, surely. I have a fiver on the Reds to get 40 plus. Let this be a try. Oh man, that'd be brutal if they don't give up. Be a biltong on rugby. Biltong is a good call, Rihanna. Need to get me some biltong actually. Back by Rebels. Award the try. There you go, Caleb. Take the money. Try time. Alright, James, man. Take care, bro. Enjoy the rest of the games later. Juarez kits, Shonik, man. Check UAR Rugby Store. They might still have some in stock. That's the official stockist from Argentina. Their site is totally in Spanish, but quick Google translate the page will do the job for you. That's where I got mine from. That's the only legit place I know you can get them. eBay maybe as well, but missed the conversion. 44 points to 19. Man. Now, Sean, I can't guarantee they got any more stock because, yeah, pandemic, but they certainly used to. Cheers all around, mate. Yeah, it's been a bit of a one-sided one, but 2 minutes to go. We've had some beers, we've had some chat. Plenty of talk about Six Nations, haircuts. We didn't do house prices today, but yeah, plenty going on. Night, Aileron, man. Take care, bro. I'm going to hit the hay in about a minute and a half once this game's done and dusted. What kind of position does put the Reds in now? Very good. Very good. Top of the log. Easy. One minute to go. Is every Super Rugby player rocking the mullet now? As soon as Jack Goodhue cut his, man, everyone else started growing them, eh? We'll have a penalty. 30 seconds to go. Who's that guy, the 21? I don't know him. Harry, mate, no worries. Simon, take care, bro. Good to see you. Martin's got to go get a haircut. Get yourself a mullet, man. Short back and sides. Sorry, short sides. Grow the back long. Red's going for the 50. You might be right. There's 5 seconds to go. Mullet season, apparently. Indeed. Here we go. Line out time. Murphy. Queensland. Short line out. And then just kick it a touch. Okay. Game over. Job done. I'm happy with that. Take that. Cheers, everybody. A bit of a hiding in the end, eh? 44-19. So the Reds are kind of doing a bit of a Crusaders and just smashing everything, except that the Crusaders lost and the Reds didn't. I think that kind of rules out the Rebels as like the potential third contender, and it seems like essentially a 2-horse race. But even with the Brumbies performance, maybe it's even a 1-horse race. I don't know. But yeah. Caleb, I'd love to enjoy the extra hour of sleep with daylight savings coming to an end, but I get the feeling my kids will still wake up at the regular time. So, yes. Never know. It might happen that I might get to sleep in for an extra hour, but I wouldn't be banking on it. Anyway, Dean, no, I don't think I'll be doing any live streams of the games tomorrow because they're all on at horrible times here in New Zealand. Maybe the Women's Six Nations, if anything, but I'll see what the plans are with the kiddies tomorrow, eh? Anyway, you guys take care of yourselves. Cares of yourselves? Whatever that means. It's late. It's almost midnight. Yeah, Shonak, everybody, JP, Alan, Martin, Rob, Dean, Fleshin, everybody. Take care. I'll see you again for another one. Take care. Bye.